Hey everybody, welcome back. We have a huge show today, even bigger than I expected when I first scheduled the show. So it's going to be way big, way big. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the top 5 Bitcoin projections for 2025. It's going to be pretty awesome. But we're also going to be talking about some big news around Fetch Oracle. As I understand, I think this is the first Oracle on Pulse Chain. Some people are talking about Teller contracts out there, but as far as I know, Fetch Oracle is actually live. We weren't sure about it yesterday, but we had some official posts just in the last half an hour. And so Fetch Oracle is live. Funnily enough, I got myself banned from the Telegram group just because I tried to post a video, but that's just the way life goes. But we're going to talk about that. Also, Signum Oracle, of course, which we're expecting to come out first. And of course, that is we've got some updates about that. That is pretty much ready. So we're going to talk about the updates there. So you're going to get a lot of things hot off the press here. Also, what does the ramifications of oracles have on our first algorithmic stablecoin coming to Pulse Chain? PUSD ALGO, of course, from Jacob. Jacob, of course, pretty famous now for TYRH protocol and, of course, Mafia GameFi, which is the #1 GameFi and the only metaverse and the #1 NFT marketplace on Pulse Chain. And, of course, we're looking forward to PUSD ALGO. So we're going to talk all about that today. I hope you guys enjoy the show when we get there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we've got a lot to talk about. It's going to be a big show. So enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and share around. Share the channel around. If you've got friends in that, tell them if they like Pulse Chain, they like crypto, they like some politics and a few other things, get them on and share the channel around. Just to copy the channel, share it to your friends, and get it out there. We're trying to grow, and get bigger. So you guys play a big role in that. And if you love the content, get in there. We're pretty much covering everything, right? Even stock market as well. Economic news, we're doing it. And of course, maybe even a little bit of sports as well. So it should be a lot of fun. Without further ado, though, let's get into the results today. We're going to kick it off and start with the market. No stock market, of course, today on the weekend. But the Bitcoin seems to have pretty much quieted down. It's down about 0.6%, but that's not too bad today, given how rough it's been in the last week. Up and down. $86,500 Bitcoin at the moment, and the Bitcoin dominance at 59.18%, which is fairly strong, relatively speaking. And we've got Ethereum there is at $2,209, up 3%. So nice little reprieve there. I did have support around the $2,150, so it's pretty much been around that, plus or minus slightly. So that's been pretty where we expected to go. Obviously, no one really wants to go below 2K, but of course, if Bitcoin did tumble down to some of these bearish moves down that people have been predicting around 66K, 62K, 68K, sort of in the 60s there, then that would bring Ethereum down below 2K. Of course, BNB there at the moment is at 596K, up 0.2%. And we got Solana there down 2.6%, $137. ADA down 1.2%, 81 cents. So they've definitely calmed down. Remember, President Trump talked about Solana, ADA, and XRP, but it's because they were top 5 market caps, being in the slush fund for the crypto stockpile, which is different from the strategic Bitcoin reserve, right? Those are two different entities. Think about the crypto stockpile that the government wants to run. It's just basically more like managed like a portfolio, so they can add and remove from that portfolio. And of course, the strategic Bitcoin reserve really is just taking stuff that they've forfeited already and moving that probably over from federal into the treasury, and looking to protect that. Maybe expand it with any budget neutral items and any other sort of fund setups that they've got out there in the Federal Reserve. It's full of all these different pockets of money out there. So we'll see where that heads at the moment, though. Bit of a slight pull down in these ones still, but definitely cooled off, right? Cooled off. It stopped going down so dramatically. Tron at the moment is up 0.25%, 24.5 cents. Litecoin is down 0.9%, $103. And of course, Su Chain there is sitting down 4.67% at $2.50. That's where we are at the moment. We might actually talk about Pi Network coming up as well. Pi Network recently launched and it's actually done pretty well. We might talk about that too. Let me know in the chat if you've got some Pi from the Pi Network. Were you doing that? Were you mining on your phone some Pi? Let me know in the chat there. So that's where we are at the moment on the old general crypto. We've got a few people in the chat though, so let's say hello to a few people. Hey, Brian, good to see you. What's up, folks? Brian, our community leader, always does a great job. And his sidekick there, Hedgehog. Woohoo! Always excited. I like that. That's the Hedgehog 2.0. Hedgehog 2.0. We got Wookie in the house as well. Good to see Wookie in the house there. We got MBS, Morning Family. Good to see MBS. And who else has jumped in here? MBS says, I should have bought the brain token. We suck, says MBS. That's very funny. Hey, we got Sandy Beach in the house, one of our moderators, and who's back on track in the gym. Great to see you in their gym there, Sandy Beach. Always a pleasure, of course. And hi, Superman, and everybody else from Sandy Beach. A big shout out to you. Great to see you back in that gym. So if you haven't joined our Discord, the links are in the video description. Sandy posted some an image of herself back in the gym. So if you love community, you love crypto, and of course, you love talking politics, society, economics, sports, and everything else, get into our Discord. It really is amazing. Of course, the Kryptonite Show Discord, get in there. Only $5 at the moment. Of course, that will be going up soon. So just get in there now while you can. Really do encourage you there as well. If you want to get into our Crypto Strategy Club, $35 a month, great value there as well. So get in on that one. And there is Brian's link. My link to Discord is way better than Wookie's link. Yeah, join up today. It is a private Discord, so get in there now while you can. All right, let's jump back into the rest of the mix. So Bitcoin, let's have a look at the charts here. This is on Coinbase of Bitcoin. So we can see that we're actually over the 200-day moving average. I'm pretty happy about that. 200-day moving average is at 85,834. We're currently at 86,322. So we're about $500 above that 200-day moving average. Nice to see there. Now the 50-day, which is in yellow, that yellow line, 50-day moving average is down at 93,656. So it does appear to be closing out, but we had a closeout back here in September, and we managed to avoid a death cross there, and we've still got a golden cross continuing, right? So I'm still feeling pretty good about moving into the second half of March and beyond. Certainly into April. Yeah, now obviously we've got special events in the market, which is Trump, right? So Trump doing his repivoting of the world, and hey, look, it's probably necessary to get us on that front foot for the future. That's going to give probably a bit more volatility as the market starts to absorb all the wins that he's going to have in due course. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. Not too bad, and finding good support around the 200-day. That's all we can say. So let's move on into the return so far for the month. So March is actually green. 2.28% for Bitcoin is the positive return. So hopefully it stays green and maybe even accelerates into the second half of March. Of course, our TA guru in the Discord, Brennan, has got second half of March being quite bullish. And that's kind of positive there. February, of course, was a disappointment. It was down 17.4%, even though that had been one of the two greenest months of crypto. But of course, the special event you'd have to say is Trump's, tariffs and reorganization of the world order, let's say. And of course, that's that's the price we paid for it there. All right, so that is where we are with Bitcoin on that. So now we're going to talk about the top five. That's the title of the video, the top five price predictions for 2025. So we're going to talk about that. And of course, one of those, of course, is Tom Lee. Tom Lee. So if you guys know Tom Lee's a super smart guy. He's co-founder of Fundstrat Global Advisors. So you can check that out online. That's Fundstrat Global Advisors. It's Tom Lee. If you've been in crypto for a while, you'll know who Tom Lee is. He gets on all the financial shows and even doing podcasts and stuff like that these days, and does some pretty amazing forecasts. He's fairly accurate. He's a pretty good price predictor. Not always 100% right, but he's done some pretty good price predictions. And Tom Lee is predicting that Bitcoin could reach $250,000 by the end of 2025. We definitely know that his average price prediction is 150 to 180K this year, but definitely $250,000 by the end of 25. And of course, he expects this to happen because the growing influence of spot Bitcoin ETFs. And we've seen that. I've shown that the last couple of days. Spot Bitcoin ETFs from when they launched on January the 10th last year, they had about $40 million in them, and now they're at $40 billion, and now they're up to $95 billion or more. So they really started to make a big impact there, and also pushing up the price of Bitcoin on average up about 3 to 6%. So it's been a pretty big deal there. I'm expecting that to continue to grow. Now we've basically got all the players in the world on the field. And more coming, right? And the game is early. The game has just begun. So we've got sovereign states, states within sovereign states, institutions, and of course the retail book. So pretty much everyone's there, and there's more players joining the teams. More teams have been set up. That's pretty neat. And of course, the shifting political landscape there, obviously with Trump now officially the biggest country in the world now, backing it. So it's going to be pretty cool. We're also going to have obviously very clear regulation also, and that's going to be very, very powerful, right? So very, very powerful. So I'm excited about that. And of course, we've got a little video to play here as well. So let's play that. This is about what Trump has actually done regards to the regulatory environment. So let's play this from Kevin O'Leary. You guys may know him, one of the sharks.
President Trump hosting the first ever White House crypto summit, vowing to stop the government's war on a valuable asset.
Last year, I promised to make America the Bitcoin superpower of the world and the crypto capital of the planet, and we're taking historic action to deliver on that promise, as you know, around the table. Yesterday, I signed an executive order officially creating our strategic Bitcoin reserve, and this will be a virtual Fort Knox for digital gold to be housed within the United States Treasury. That's a big thing, Scott.
Here to discuss, Kevin.
So that was huge, obviously, coming from Trump at the crypto summit on Friday. Really was a great thing. And so very positive for where crypto is going to head in the future. And so Kevin O'Leary is going to give us a bit of his perspective and breakdown of it as well.
O'Leary, chairman of O'Leary Ventures. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Can you just explain what this means? This is a big deal to have a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Why is it so important, and why didn't the previous administration do something like this?
The most important part of this whole announcement and Friday itself was signaling that the regulatory environment is going to change on all things crypto. As you know, the last administration under Gensler at the SEC, the way policy was being administered was through litigation, trying to interpret the existing laws into the new technologies of Bitcoin and all the other technologies in crypto. And it was a mire of just lawsuits. That's changing. That was the signal. And the Bitcoin Reserve is actually...
Now, that lawfare, of course, we know very well with Richard Hart and PulseChain and PulseX and Hex all getting pulled into that. Fortunately, on the 28th of February, Richard Hart won that in the courts, and the SEC only has 20 days to really re-put their case up. And we're expecting that to be pretty much a non-event now that there's a new administration that's anti-lawfare and pro-crypto. So that should be pretty positive as well. I see Sandy Beach has said, I'd like to see Hex in the reserve. Yeah. So there's two different entities, as I said earlier. There's the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, and then there's the stockpile, which has got all altcoins in it. So Hex would be in an altcoin one, would be in the stockpile there, just to clarify that. All right. So let's continue on here.
Actually, more importantly about that, but there's $17 billion in it right now that's been seized. What is being signaled by President Trump is that that's going to be kept by Treasury as an asset. And he's not adding to it right now, but that, and a lot in the industry wanted to see some percentage of assets kept in Bitcoin. But that's not as important as what he did in signaling regulation. That's stack number one. Number two, and this was very important, is that we have been debating the American dollar and digitizing the American dollar now for almost 5 years. One act was from Gillibrand called the Stablecoin Act, and more recently the Genius Act with Senator Hagerty. These acts are going to merge. They're going to be co-authored. And digitizing the American dollar is probably the most important and largest aspect of crypto we could do, because every commodity on earth is denominated by the American dollar. We don't want the Russians and the Chinese and the North Koreans and South American countries trying to come up with an alternative, which they are talking about. We want the dollar to rule, and this is how you start. It's the largest market. It's a multi-trillion-dollar market, and this is the lowest hanging fruit. Bipartisan bill going to be hitting the floor soon. I totally support it. Real action was not on Friday. It was Thursday night. In dinners being held all over town by all these crypto people from around the world coming into Washington. I went there. That's the signal I got. So go Gillibrand, go Hagerty, merge it together, get it through. Lots of opposition from Elizabeth Warren on this one, but I think her party's going to abandon her on it. We want the American dollar digitized.
Yeah.
So digitizing US dollar and, of course, support for stable coins as well. So that's a big deal for the industry. I mean, the amount of percentage of stable coins as opposed to the total crypto market cap, varies depending on the bull market and bear market. but typically in a bear market, it's a much bigger percentage, of course. But I think at the moment it's probably around about 5 to 7% of crypto market cap as stablecoins. This is going to bode pretty well also with the clear regulations also around PUSD ALGO that's coming up, our first algorithmic coin on Pulse Chain. And of course, we've already got 3 liquidity forks as well, and as well as a fiat-backed one as per Coast project as well. So we've got, going to have at least 5 decent pegged cryptos. We may even, if the PDI maker theory plays out, that would also be another stable coin. And of course, we having good clear regulations about stable coins and crypto, very important, as well as obviously digitizing the US dollar there. All right, so let's see what else he's got to say there. So that was a really good observation.
This is very important. What do you say, Kevin, very quickly to investors out there? Is this a good time to invest in cryptocurrency?
Cryptocurrency should be thought of in 2 buckets. One, you have speculation in the price of Bitcoin. Everybody's been tracking that from 16,000 to over 100,000 and down 10% a day. You need a lot of fortitude. You need a stomach to handle that. But it should not be your entire portfolio. It's no different than owning gold. I own a 5% weighting in gold in my portfolios, and I own a 5% weighting in crypto. They've both done very, very well over the last year and been hedges against inflation, which is not bad. But what we're really talking about and what the president is signaling here is let's bring the people who develop these technologies back to the United States, because we've chased them out through litigation. And so he's signaling to them, come home, let's develop digital payment systems like we talked about digitizing the American dollar, because that's a great idea. It's a signal and it's powerful and the world hears it.
The world.
So obviously getting all those entrepreneurs, all the top people in crypto. I mean, they didn't have Rich Hart there, but at the Crypto Summit on Friday was a big, big start. And of course, the dinners that they had around that, receptions and everything else, very supportive there as well.
Here's it, and we're excited. It's an exciting time. And Kevin O'Leary, thank you so much for your insight.
So I posted in the Discord. If you're not joined up to Discord, join up today and get in there quickly before the prices go up as well. I posted in there an update from Coinbase after the Bitcoin Crypto Summit. So get in there to Discord if you want to check that out as well. That's posted in the Pulse Chain chat, or we've renamed the Pulse Chain chat now Crypto Chat. So you can talk about all sorts of cryptos in there now. Definitely join up today. Links in the video description, as we say. So that was pretty cool from Kevin O'Leary. Some good comments there. Now, obviously, the first one I talked about was Tom Lee from FudgeTrack Global, talking about $250,000 this year and some of the reasons for that. Another one, of course, was out from Bernstein. This is from Gautam Chugani, and he had a $200,000 prediction for this year for Bitcoin, and he is an analyst at Bernstein. He foresaw Bitcoin hitting 200,000 by the end of 2025. And of course, it's driven by the facts of Donald Trump's win, has also pledged, of course, which he actually committed to and did, which is a Bitcoin strategic reserve. The strong institutional inflows into Bitcoin ETFs, as I said, something like $95 billion so far since January last year. And of course, he expects that to account for about 7% of Bitcoin's circulating supply moving forward. Now, essentially, these sovereign states, these states in the United States, we covered that yesterday, and of course, institutions and everybody else, countries outside of America, they all have to buy a Bitcoin, and a lot of the Bitcoin they're going to be buying is actually from a lot of the long-term crypto Bitcoin maxis, right? So a lot of the retail book, particularly, is where they're going to buy a lot of Bitcoin from, because you're seeing a lot of these institutional guys and stuff holding on to their Bitcoin. So it's going to be interesting to see the shake-up in Bitcoin as we move forward there. Now, the third one there is from Matt Hoogan. He's from Bitwise Asset Management. He expects $200,000 as well, and he's the Chief Investment Officer for Bitwise. He predicts Bitcoin will trade above $200,000 in 2025, and he thinks that it's because of institutional investment, which I said there's going to be more and more of that, particularly 401ks and a lot of retirement funds. A lot of corporate funds are going to start flowing into crypto. They're all going to get them approved at the board and the constitutions, all the different other things that they have to get them approved to take more risk on. Because remember, Bitcoin's been de-risked because now they're calling it digital gold, right? So we saw that from BlackRock CEO. Things have really changed now. And of course, very exciting. Of course, who's the biggest proponent of that? Michael Saylor, right? He's been pushing that whole logic. Whichever sovereign state gets into it first, they're going to rule the world, basically. That's the argument there from Michael Saylor, right? Obviously, favorable regulation coming out, and of course, Bitcoin supply constraints post the halving have also played a role there as well. that's very, very exciting. Number 4 was Chafmath Vilahapatiya. He's from Social Capital, and he's expecting, get this, hold your seat, $500,000, and he's expecting $500,000 this year. In fact, he thinks this could be as early as October 25. Hey, and I wouldn't put that out. I wouldn't put that apart from there as well. We know that if we're going to get to gold's market cap, which is about 21 trillion, that would be about 10x from here, and that would be around about $800,000 a Bitcoin, maybe up to $1 million a Bitcoin, depending on your numbers, and that's pretty huge. So some big stuff there, and that's a massive re-rate if we're going to get to 500,000 by October. That's like getting half of gold's market cap. Is pretty crazy. And he's he thinks it's because of due to Bitcoin's potential as a hedge against economic stability. So really that gold narrative, digital gold, increased global adoption, of course, which is happening, and we're seeing that across the world, and not just a retail book, but institutions and sovereign states. And of course, it's appealed to unbanking populations. Obviously, if you're unbanked, which has been a big problem, particularly with political discrimination, particularly from globalists and Marxists, then obviously crypto's been a really good godsend there, and hasn't it been really, really useful. And then finally, we get into the 5th and final prediction that we're going to be covering today. And these are from top analysts, of course, which is Matthew Siegel, or Siegel, and he's from Van Eyck, as many as you will know. And he's expecting a bit more modest range there, $180,000 for Bitcoin this year. And he points to sustained demand from Bitcoin ETFs, which is definitely happening. We've shown that chart yesterday and the day before. Potential US adoption for strategic Bitcoin reserve, and of course banks being allowed to custody Bitcoin as key drivers, though he warns of volatility along the way, which we're used to that in crypto, and it can be pretty brutal. I remember that. So most of your gains in crypto are typically 20 to 30 days of the year. So if you can time those pretty well, you're doing pretty well, aren't you? And of course, those are the top 5. So just to recap that quickly, we got Tom Lee from Fundstrat Global saying 250,000. We got Gautam there from Bernstein at 200,000. We got Matt Hugan from Bitwise Asset Management at 200,000. We got Chafmath from Social Capital at 500,000, and we got Matthew Siegel from Van Eyck at 180,000. So there's your marks there, between 180 and 500,000. Some pretty bullish prices there, but probably the most common around 200,000, let's say. And of course, I've been talking about 150 to 180. So there we go. Let's see how we go. And of course, Richard Hart has talked about 242,000, I think it was, as well. So he's right in the mix there. So pretty cool. So that is some of the predictions there. Very, very exciting, as you guys can tell. Now moving to Ethereum. We've got Ethereum at $2,203, pretty much bounced off $2,108. I had my bounce at 2,150, and of course that we definitely want to hold that. And we're staying well above 2,000 there. Now, obviously, this is on the daily. We are in a death cross on Ethereum, and that death cross has played out pretty seriously. And of course, when we crossed that death cross, the price of Ethereum was at $2,750, and we've lost $550 in value since that death cross played out. Obviously, we need Bitcoin to really start to stabilize and start to inch up towards these big numbers that we're talking about. And then we might start getting Ethereum to break its all-time high of 4,900. Obviously, the recent rally that we had, Ethereum only got to 4,100, and that was twice there. We got there in March 24, and we got there in December 24. Apart from that, we're still yet to break the previous high in the previous bull market back in 2021, right? So way back up here. So that was November 21, and we got up to $4,900. So we have yet to break that all-time high there. And of course, we've had a lot of things, ETH mergers and all that sort of stuff. And so and a lot of competition from the EVM chains as well. But Ethereum still has the big institutional backing, so we're still expecting some big things coming from there, right? So that is where we are at the moment on the overall market. So that was pretty in depth. Hope you guys enjoyed that. The last couple of days, man, we've been doing some really good coverage on the crypto markets. Definitely worth checking out some of those videos I've done the last couple of days as well on crypto. Very, very cool. So let's see what comments we got in the chat there before we get on to PulseChain and Richard Hart. We got a lot of comments there and a lot of big updates. Fetch Oracle, Signum Oracle updates, PUSD Algo stablecoin, algorithmic stablecoin update, at least continuous there. We're going to briefly talk about Mafia as well, and then kick it and wrap it up with Titan X ecosystem to see how that's tracking as well, because that's just trying to find its bottom, and of course all the buy and burns have been turned off, so we'll talk about that. Without further ado though, let's look at some of the comments in the chat. We've got a nice one there from Sandy, a big nice little smiley hug face there. We've got Matt and Bali in the house. Howdy, Superman. Hey, good to see you, Matt. Always a pleasure. Always an honor there. And we've got Brennan as well, our TA guru inside Discord. G'day all. Good to see you, Brennan. Looking forward to that mid-March or beyond, the second half of March there. That's for sure. Who else has jumped in the chat here? We got a few others. We've got Brian saying, I've been saying 200,000 to 300,000 in 2025, says Brian. Well, it looks like you're right on the money there, Brian. So we're looking forward to that. We're probably just in this little bear trap, little shakeout. Which particularly, maybe the Trump thing was a good thing in the short term. We shall see. It's always one thing in retrospect, right? So we shall see. And Sandy's excited about that price as well. Yeah, it's good to be excited about that sort of price calls. All right, so let's get back into it. We're going to get into Richard Hart's post, and we can see he posted in the last 24 hours. He's really been upping his post statistic before he got won the court case, but also after. He's been really ramping it up. He goes, banks deny exchanges, exchanges deny coins, consumers lose twice. Competition breeds excellence, consumers must be given choice. And of course, you guys know we love DeFi here, right? We're a DeFi. We love that. Here he goes, hi, I know more about Bitcoin than you. Ethereum is faster, cheaper, has higher throughput, more features, and vastly more liquid than you need. If you're mad that ETH is better than Bitcoin, you're measuring something that's not the technology. What makes a good blockchain? How many secure transactions can it do? How affordable? How long do you have to wait? Can you do these things on chain with no middleman? Exchange, lending, borrowing, tokenization, privacy, interoperability with other chains. Is it good for the environment? Ethereum is superior in every single one of these metrics. I can think of a single thing Bitcoin does better except liquidity. In last 3 years' price, we saw a hacker dump 1.5 billion of ETH in a week just fine. So is that enough liquidity for you? Everyone else might be too afraid to tell you the measurable, obvious truth, but I am not. You can speak the truth. Donald Trump does. He has no problem promoting technology that's not Bitcoin. ETH is superior to BTC. It's obvious, and if it's not clear to you, it's because you're measuring your feels and not the actual technology. So we're getting a bit of the old Richard Hart 1.0 back, aren't we? So that's pretty cool. And of course, Richard, without a doubt, has the highest engagement of any founder in crypto, but let alone any influencer as well. So people will get super ecstatic, even if he starts doing a few live streams. He doesn't have to do his regular live streams like he used to, but even if he did a live stream every so often, that would certainly be something people would look forward to as well. So pretty cool. So that was from Richard Hart over the last 24 hours. Great to see him, really getting himself out there again. It's great to see that flavor coming back, right? The flavor. The Richard Hart flavor there. And of course, here we are on day 666. Whoa, it's a 666 day. Oh no, my God, what's a bad day? It's a bad day. Bad day there. All right, so we got Pulse at quadruple 0368, down 1.8%. So it's cooled off here too on Pulse Chain, sitting at 37% of the mean sacrifice price. Still a great entry in Pulse Chain. PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0353, down 3.69%. Funny enough, that's the hex inflation, right? 3.69%, at least the nominal inflation rate. And then we got the buy and burn, of course, reached 1.3 trillion. That is fantastic. Did that yesterday. And now 6.55% of PulseX has been bought up and burned. A beautiful tokenomics there. And of course, the incentive token there is at $2.04, and down 6.7% at 55,000 on the ratio. So the ratio has definitely dropped off on incentive over the last couple of days. But 55,000 is still pretty decent. The total inflation about 55 million. And of course, we know that Richard Hart's team lowered the inflation rate by 20x. So it's only 5% of what it used to be. So we're not expecting huge jumps in that incentive token supply. So that's going to be interesting going forward. We also know that something like 40% or so in the couple of days following that change of liquidity went down. So where's that money gone? And of course, now that liquidity is smaller, these tokens can pump if any particular driver drives that. Whether it's supply sinks like single side staking, or whether it's big buying coming in out of nowhere. We're going to wait to see what that looks like. It's going to be fun to see. Hex at the moment at 1 cent, so we're back at 1 penny. We're slightly below yesterday. We're at 1.45% on Hex. And of course, EHEX at the 3400th of a penny. Combined price of EX and PX still pretty cheap entry at the moment, 1.35 cents. And we're expecting big things for Hex in this bull market as you guys know, into the dollars, let's say, into the dollars. Just got to be patient and wait for the timing. It's all about timing, right? 2.8 million beats at the moment. Definitely elevated gas prices on Pulse chain, which reflects generally a more valuable chain and an early sign of maybe some of that big pump that we were waiting for to eventually happen. And of course, that's pretty cool. So 4 cents for a PulseX swap at the moment. And of course, if you wait later in the day, typically the gas prices come down and you can get back to normal, a bit cheaper, sub 1 cent transactions, for example. Validator at the moment, 47,622. So we've seen a little rise in those, haven't we? A little rise in the validators. People taking the opportunity to get into the chain, especially after the SEC victory. People can come over, bring their money, and not feel scared about that. We got the total value of the chain bridge is now 109 million. That's up a little bit from yesterday, so it's nice to see. And we'll keep track of that number. All right, so that is Pulse chain. So we've got the volumes. The volumes are pretty low, but then again, it is a Saturday, Sunday now. But we're at 19.7 million on 24-hour volume. And the total transactions, 216,000. So kind of very weekend volumes, aren't they? Now, looking at the coins that are leading at the moment, we've got this new Dodge coin here, do only good every day. And that is up 12,700%, only been around for 9 hours. That's probably been launched on Pump.tires, Richard Hart's new meme coin site, essentially. We got this Monomics as well, which was launched 2 days ago. That's up 283%. I think that's probably related to some of these Finvestor tokens, if I remember rightly. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is. We've got the chart there. Let's go to the hourly on that one. So that's been pumping up there. 113K liquidity, $1 million in volume, and 813 makers. So it looks like it's got some bot activity on there too. Let's quickly have a look at that and see whether it does take us to Finvestor. And it does. So it is one of the Finvestor tokens, right, in the ecosystem there. And this has proven to be very, very popular. And people making some mad gains and mad airdrops in there with all these different tokens and their different tokenomics. Pretty cool. People look, all the tokens, people loving them, and they've been doing pretty well. So not bad. So it looks like they've launched a new one here, Mnemonics, and people are enjoying that. Not bad. All right, so that is Mnemonics there, doing pretty well. XUSD, this is a speculative stable, and of course it's only at 0.3 of a penny, but it's up 74%, so a big move there. Remember is one of the Finvestor tokens that's up 22%. So Finvestor really dominating in the top leaderboard again at the moment after having a bit of a reprieve. We've got Finvestor there up 11% at $57. And on the Pulse pair, it's at $55. Let's have a quick look to see how Finvestor's going. So it did have a hyper rally at $86 or so. Even had a spike up to $108. And it's now at $54. So it's actually performing pretty well. Volume is 117K. Liquidity is 180K, and the market cap 56 million implied there. So we'll see how it goes. Certainly a very innovative ecosystem, and made a lot of gains for a lot of people as well. A big shout out to MV out there. He's big in the community there, and he's in our Discord as well. So you can come meet MV in our Discord. Links in the video description. Join up today. All right. So those are some of the leaders there. Obviously, we've got PulseX and Hex and stuff like that. But what I wanted to look for here in particular is Fetch, because we're going to be talking about Fetch. So let's talk about Fetch. And of course, there we go. So yesterday, people were talking about Fetch launching, but there was no official announcement. And, you got to be quite careful, particularly if you're, covering crypto on YouTube, to make sure that everything is good. So it's very important for that. But before we do that, we've got a couple comments in the chat here as well. MVS says it's crazy what's happening with this Finvestor ecosystem. And MVS says, I get about 5 million Pulse just holding for a week or something. Nice. Well done there, MV. That's fantastic. All right, so let's bring up this Fetch Oracle. So some people say the Teller Oracle's up. I have looked at that. It does seem to be there. But if it's not actually operating in a big way, then that makes the Fetch Oracle, which just launched yesterday, the first Oracle. And of course, we only got official announcements just in the last hour from Fetch to say that that's actually up and running. So it was a very quiet stealth launch from the looks of it. But here is the price of Fetch. And this is on the hourly. There's an hourly chart. So it looks like the price started at 1/10 of a penny. It's currently at just under 2/10 of a penny at the moment. So it's almost up 80% or so. And so that's been ticking off there. Now, it actually launched in the 9-inch exchange. So rather than PulseX, there are PulseX pairs, but they're very small liquidity. Most of the liquidity here is on 9-inch. That's pretty interesting. And it's on 9-inch's V3 DEX as well, not on the V2. which is interesting as well. So 311K liquidity. I don't know what that profile looks like on the V3, but it's got 311K of liquidity, 51K of volume, and 88 makers so far. And obviously, over the last 48 hours, it's had 103 buys versus 40 sales there. I'm not sure what sort of whether there's bot activity or what's operating on there, but that is definitely doing pretty well. Now let's have a look at the total supply of tokens. I think we can do that without. Oh no, it's give me scam thing. So we don't want to. Oh god. Oh, we got scam. I don't know what's happened there. It may be auto load, but we get some scams there. But anyway, you can check out the supply there. It's probably just my computer overly controlling that, but there's a certain supply. I'm not going to be able to see that there. Now, we did have 1 hour ago, we had Pulse Chain Fetch Oracle was live on mainnet. So now we have that official launch. So that's really cool. And fetchoracle.com is the site there, which is pretty cool there. So I'm going to copy the link and post it in the chat there. You guys can check that out. So that's big news. So really, our first big Oracle launched on the old Pulse chain. So there is the link there. And that's fantastic news. So what does an Oracle do? Well, obviously, it can give different kinds of information, price information, non-price information, sometimes even particular tools like random number generators and things like that. So that's very, very cool to see that. And what else we got there? Sandy Beach makes a comment. I'm surprised the sacrifice set isn't getting an airdrop on Fetch. Me too, actually. A great point there. So yeah, we never thought wasn't sure Fetch was even coming down the line, were we? So it's good to see it announced, and that's big news. So we got Fetch Oracle. Looks like if the Teller Oracle is not fully operating, I don't know. I have seen it up, but that makes Fetch the first Oracle, and this is from Liquid Loans, right? Presumably that's still kicking away, still they're doing that. And of course, there is the Telegram, Fetch Oracle Telegram you can join. And I joined it, but accidentally posted a video and they banned me. So I'm banned from the Oracle, which is just, it's kind of useless for me because I want to get the information feed. But hey, that's just the way it goes. So we got the price just under 0.2 of a penny. And that is the chart there if you guys want to check that out. Obviously, double check the contract with the website. But it's always good due diligence to do that. But that is the contract there. So you can check the contract there with the website. On the website before if you decide to participate in it. All right, so you do need Fetch Oracle tokens to play on Fetch Oracle. Now, this is the website Fetch Oracle, and it's ticking away there as well. And yeah, it's not bad. So I'm going to post that too. You can check that out. Bam. And let's post that one too. So that is the Fetch Oracle. And you can become a reporter, right? You can become a reporter, and you can actually earn, crypto on it, right? So that's kind of cool. Another way of earning passive income, providing information, might be price information. For example, they've got learner videos, they've got a white paper, they've got knowledge, and they've got a good step through as well. So you can click through and go through the learner thing there as well. So kind of nice. Check that out. Now, this is the actual Oracle itself. So go.fetchoracle.com. And of course, it's got a start page there. So I'm going to post this. This is the actual protocol itself. You can check that out too. Sandy says, "I want to be a reporter." Yeah, well, definitely check out the information there and get in a Telegram, and you should be able to set yourself up with that. Now, I think I thought I don't know their approach to doing the Oracle, because normally being a reporter, you would have to have a computer up and running all the time. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing there around that. I haven't checked it through, so I have to check it through myself. But that is the link to the actual protocol there as well. Brian says, "Did you just get unbanned, boss?" No, I got banned on the Telegram because I posted a video about me covering it, and then I got banned automatically by the Autobot banning, which is understandable. I didn't think about it at the time because I was just pasting it on a number of sites, and then I got banned. So I don't know whether I've been unbanned. Well, hopefully I've been unbanned. But yeah, Abra says yes, unbanned. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's good to hear. So that's fantastic. Yeah, it was kind of funny. Yeah, I was just being a bit trigger happy there. But anyway, so here is the Fetch Oracle, and that's ticking away there. So fetchoracle.com, and you can check all this out. It's got start here, so it's all the videos how it works, staking, rewards, reporting, tipping, and of course tipping is what happens when you get paid to give information, disputing, and analytics there. So we've got everything on the site. That's really cool to see. We've also got the protocol performance, just like we see with the liquid loans, liquidity forks, and stuff like that. So they got the Fetch staked, 87 million staked, Fetch locked 46 million. Reporting APR 358%. So that's pretty juicy, right? So a lot of people will be wanting to get into that. So getting it on early, these things is always a good idea, right? Getting early. And of course, staking APR 186%. Total supply 5 billion. Anyway, I couldn't get to there because I have my own security protections, but it says here 5 billion tokens in supply there, and report minimum 500k. So you can minimum fetch required to report prices. So you do need to buy fetch, which is buying demand, and there's a supply sync on the fetch supply. So there we go. There is 5 billion tokens, so take that note as well. Now, obviously, they've got the staking page. You can stake, how to stake, and staking rewards, which is pretty cool. So you can stake, unstake, withdraw. You need 500,000 from the looks of it to be a reporter, and it got how to stake there as well. So they've got a cool picture there. Minimum stake, $500 in fetch tokens is required to report. So there we go. I've got $500 there as opposed to 500k. So I don't know which one's which. We've got reporting, how to report. So this is what you definitely, if you're out there, Sandy Beach, you definitely want to check this out, because this is what you're going to need to understand what you're doing. So how to report, submit a report as well, and submit a signal report value, set the asset and current price you wish to report. The folder's Pulse and USD. For frequent and automated reporting, consider using Taliot. You can learn about Taliot there, which is probably what you'd want to do. Set up a computer all the time and just get it automated, right? As opposed to manual. Manual just seems a little bit, I don't know, just does seem counterintuitive there as well. So probably something to check out there. Update minimum stake as well, reporter logs, and generate IDs, so you can check out all of that. Obviously, they have tipping, how to tip, funding a feed. Obviously, people pay tips for getting information, right? So you're going to get paid. Community members can seek information using tips. Reporters submit information to collect tips. Reporters have 90 days to claim their tips and use a feed without becoming a reporter. So there we go. So there's a way of getting them without being a reporter. Disputing, you can do disputes in there as well. We won't go through all that, but you can do that. We've got analytics, time-based rewards, and staking rewards as well. So it looks like they're already active here. Looks like time-based rewards daily 20 million so far, and staking rewards 6.3 million so far. Remember, the total supply is 5 billion, so just in context there. Daily active reporters. So it looks like they got 11 reporters on the 7th, and they've got 22 reporters now. So they've gone from 11 to 22, Sandy. So you could be number 23, Sandy, number 23 there. I don't know sure if that's unique reporters. It probably is, as opposed to the number of reports that have been made. You've got total reports daily, and this looks like the second measure that I was talking about, the number of there, up to 326 reports that have been made. Total disputes, minimum stake to report, 500,000. What else have they got there? Tips added, and how much they added there? 110. And what have we got tips there? 10 tips claimed so far on day 8 there. So they've got the early signs just begun. So early times. You can buy the token, of course. So you can add the tokens all there. It's all nice. And knowledge base as well. So knowledge base has got all the details also, Sandy. So if you're keen on that, you can check out all the stuff there, getting data, reporting data, etc., and the basics. So very nicely laid out as usual from the Fetch / I guess Liquid Loans team. And of course, they got support line there, so you can hit support. Kind of cool. And they got the community as well, which is Telegram, X, YouTube, and I guess the website itself. So that's it all there, folks. And they got the cool start button, and it's got how it works and everything else like that. So you can definitely watch all those videos as well. Now I'm going to be doing a separate show on this as well, so which I'll go into the Oracle in detail there. So wait for that. That's going to come up too. What else? We got any other comments in the chat? All right. So, Sandy says she's waiting on Signum as well. Yeah, so Signum is the one we expected to come launch first. Now, Signum is ready, and we're going to talk about that next. So that is the Fetch Oracle. So welcome to Fetch Oracle. Congratulations to the Fetch Oracle team / Liquid Loans, I guess. And that's huge, and it looks really great, and it looks very professional. So very excited to see where all this heads as we move forward. Looks like there's been 19 reporters, 318 reports, and 3 disputes and 3 votes. So it's ticking away there as well. Staking APR 186%, reporting APR 358%. So it's just started, but look forward to that ramping up. very, very cool. Now, obviously, we're also expecting the Signum Oracle to be coming. And now that the Fetch Oracle is done a surprise launch, the Signum Oracle is ready, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So we're waiting for Stu. Stu runs this project, and so we're going to have him on live stream as well. Now, if Fetch is out there too, and they want to come on a live stream, hit me up as well, either in Discord or leave a comment, because I'll talk about that too. So if you want to come on, Fetch Oracle wants to come on, they can do that. And of course, we're going to have Stu from Signum Oracle, which I'm very excited about. And I've been following this very closely, and we're waiting for this it's on testnet, but we're waiting for it to go live, and it is ready to go live now. There's obviously, we had a lot of volatility in the market as well. That seems to have been a bit quieter. So that's Signum Oracle. We're waiting for that. And yeah, very excited. Now we've got some updates from Telegram. So Stu here, for the founder for Signum, said, we are ready. However, being strategic with the second player advantage now is important. And of course, said, you mean because Fetch is live? Just taking a look before we push the button. So there we go. That is coming as well. So there's going to be 2 reporters. So if you're setting up, you could be reporting to 2 oracles. And oracles are fundamental for the next wave of growth of independent developers on Pulse Chain. It is a big, big deal. And even Richard Hart himself may end up using them with his team developments, depending on what projects he's got planned for Pulse Chain. Obviously, we've just seen Pump.Tires launch. So new protocols from Richard Hart are definitely in the game. And there's a number of things he could do to pump Pulse Chain. So that's probably not a surprise. So that was pretty cool from Signum. So Signum is ready to go and just waiting for the right timing, just observing Fetch as well. So that's coming as well. And of course, we need that for PUSD Algo. As you guys know, PUSD Algo is going to be the first algorithmic stablecoin on Pulse Chain. So we have 3 liquidity forks. We have a fiat-backed one with the Coast token, but we don't have an algorithmic one, right? We have speculative stables, but we don't have an algorithmic one that's actually pegged to $1. And of course, PUSD Algo is going to be the first one, fully decentralized solution, brand new innovations, of course, with stability miner bots to hold the peg. So we're extremely excited about this opportunity, as well as a DeFi platform where you can earn yield, right, through a number of ways of staking, earning, providing liquidity and things like that. So there's multiple earning potentials on here as well. As you guys know, we have been waiting patiently for this. On the 17th of January, we got an update from Jacob saying that he was going to move forward with this in a big way. And we were going to wait for an updated plan of action, waiting for the Signum Oracle to launch. But now we have the Fetch Oracle too, and we actually got some comments on that. Now, before we get into the comments, if you want to get a 19% bonus on PUSD Algo, the link's in the video description. Get that, and if you do $1,000 inclusive of the referral bonus of 19%, which is about $840, plus the referral bonus that will get to 1,000, then that will get you the second bonus up to 2x the credit for the actual allocation. So that's huge. That's huge. So definitely think about that. And of course, if you want to check out the videos on the channel, just type in PUSD Algo, and we've got a whole ton of videos from about a year ago from Jacob running that. And we will look forward to getting an updated plan, and of course, potentially even an interview with Jacob as well. But with that said, Hamden here in the Telegram on PUSD Algo said, can Fetch Oracle do the job? In other words, do we have to wait for Signum? And of course, he says, Jacob says, we invested in Signum to get reporter tokens. So they've already got an investment there. So we are not switching up anything, considering Signum is right on the heels of Fetch. And as of course, we've said that, Fetch is actually ready. And of course, they are, pretty imminent to launch, really. So that was pretty cool. And Hamlin goes, okay, I was just wondering if we can be an alternative option. Let's wait for Signum then. And then Jacob said, it's possible. It possibly can, yes. So the more options, the better. So there we go. And of course, they could have multiple feeds and from different oracles. It's always good to have multiple price things in any DeFi, particularly if it's going to be immutable, right? There's no God mode keys on it. So this is really huge. And so everything is moving forward very, very nicely. These oracles open up big things like algorithmic stablecoins and DeFi platforms that you can't do really safely otherwise, right? You can create a centralized oracle, which is kind of basically just your own one that you're doing, or you can, use some other feed, which is really risky, right? Because if that falls over and your contract's immutable, it can die, right? It can die, and a lot of people can lose a lot of money. So having a reliable oracle up and running is very, very important with multiple reporters. And then I guess having more than one oracle is even better. So very, very exciting there. All right, so that is PUSD Algo. Get in there. The link's in the video description. 90% bonus today. And of course, very, very excited about where this is going to head. That leads us into another ones of Jacob's projects. This is really the number one GameFi, the only metaverse on Pulse Chain, and the number one NFT marketplace on the old Pulse Chain, and of course also playing on BNB as well. And this is very, very exciting, and only costs 2,000 Mafia to play. That's so cheap. It's only like $1, $2. So get in there today. Start playing Mafia. You can earn crypto in multiple ways. Of course, the big carrot here is the vault. The vault is huge. The vault is 8.02 billion. This just cost over 8 billion. Fantastic, right? And of course, if Pulse goes up 2-3x, this becomes $1 million vault, right? If it goes up 10x, this is a multi-million-dollar vault, right? So it's big money in this vault, and of course, you get to play to earn. It's so much fun, right? And so it's currently at around 300k, just under 300k. But we just hit a new milestone of 8 billion Pulse. So it's going very, very well indeed. If you include the BNB, it's over $500,000. It is really doing really well. So fantastic there. Obviously, there's multiple ways, not just the vault, but also trading on the marketplace. You can buy and sell and trade and make profits. People do that. And of course, you can use the exchange as well, and you can play on here as well and earn money through this also. And of course, you can also open up in-game assets using crates, and sometimes you may get a big windfall. You pay $20, but you might get something that's worth $300. It's really is pretty crazy like that. And of course, you need those to play in the future. And of course, there's now the business as well. So the business is ramping up there. We've got slot machines and roulettes operating at the moment, but we know that we're going to get other things coming up soon as well, other businesses, as well as the pre-ranking. Pre-ranking is coming up probably could be within a week. I don't know. It's pretty close. And that means that this game is actually starting. So you won't be able to kill anybody yet. That's sort of the last update. But at the moment, we've got open for business, and that's progressing pretty well. We've got the roulettes and slot machines live. We've got the narcotics and booze warehouses opening up soon. They're in development, and they're going to go live with the pre-rank update. So that's going to be pretty important. And pre-ranking is basically the game is starting, right? Because you're going to be able to do lots of crimes. I mean, after all, what's a mafia game? It's a criminal game, right? And of course, it's where you can do legally do crimes. That's kind of the place. And of course, they've completed so many things. They're actually going really well. The only criticism really that Jacob has had is timing, right? Delivering on time. But this stage is actually going pretty fast. I think the business stage went pretty fast as well. So it looks like Jacob's team's definitely picking up pace, and I think responding to the players and people's expectations a lot better. And the other thing I'd like to see with this is you get to the game launch, and then if you're going to do like more advanced stuff, you do it like releases, right? Just like we see in normal games, you do a big release. Like this is the basic game is up and running, which is pretty amazing by itself. But then if you're going to add on stuff, you do releases after release. And that's really exciting. We saw that was really successful in TYRH game as well that Jacob runs. So I think that's the way to go. That's the way I'd like to see it go. And certainly if these, because the vision can be really big, and you've got to really contain that vision and then just launch the vision in different steps. So hopefully that's where we're going here, and certainly we're getting some good progress here. But you can see a lot of these items are completed: stealing cars, committing crimes, smuggling booze. They're all completed. Going to jail completed, traveling to other cities completed. So very exciting progress here. And we've only got 2 left: manage helper bots and practice kill set, which is big. And so within a week, are we going to be there within a week? So he gave us about 2 weeks, I think it was. So this could be really quick here, and that means the game is starting. So I do encourage you, if you're not yet playing, get a player. And hey, look, if you enjoy it, you're going to enjoy it. If you don't like it after a while, you don't have to play it. But it's only going to cost you $1 or $2 to start, and your potential to earn a lot of crypto is very good, as you can see. So check it out. The Pulse Mafia there on Pulse Chain. Now there is BNB Mafia as well on BNB if you like BNB chain, but definitely worth checking that out as well. Now, as you guys know, I am the consigliere in the what's going on there? Something I actually hit something here. So I am the consigliere for the most powerful family allegiance there, and of course our Don is Max Payne, and of course we control the directorate allegiance, including all the families in that allegiance, which is at least 4 of them on Pulse Chain, maybe 5 even. But we are dominating that. We know the Yakuza's at number 1. And we've also got the high table at number 2, and also the hustlers at number 3. So we control 3 out of the 5 paid spots. You can see all those paid spots have now been secured by the bigger families. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be fighting going on in the game, because obviously fighting is a big part, but that's actually when the game goes live. But as you can see, we're going to have a lot of crime actives here, and this is very, very close now that we're this far through. This has actually gone really nicely. So big shout out to Jacob and the team for pushing this through so well. We're looking forward to it. So a lot of developers, Crypto Kool-Aid's out there. He's a game developer. He's like, take all the time in the world to build a game. But it's like, well, as a player, we're like the opposite. We want to get the game out and then do the releases afterwards, right? So if you got big upgrades, do them, and later on, don't do the whole thing, the whole vision in one play. Get to the minimum viable product, make that solid, which is what we're getting. It's looking very, very good indeed. And then, of course, let's start playing. So it has been quite a bit of time. So that's kind of the from the player's point of view, very important there. Now we've got other allegiances. We've got the Gearheads there, Gears of War, with the Gearheads and the Salamakas. That's a true alliance there, allegiance there, and with the Mugnaus as well. So that's in there as well. And they've also got the Osis outfit there as well. And there's probably quite a few influencers out here, not just myself, that are in here. But obviously, I'm in the Yakuza as the Consigliere, which is really the advisor to the Don. Our Don, of course, is Max Payne there as well. So pretty cool. And we've got our Capitacina as well in the house. So pretty good. And of course, we've got a pretty amazing family there as well. And this game is going pretty well. So if you do want to play, just to join up, and you can just go to the homepage, connect your wallet, and join up there. And you can start playing. It's only like 2,000 Mafia. You will have to buy a little bit of Mafia. But you can go to the buy there, and there is a buy tax of 4.7%. So you probably need about 5% slippage, and you can buy that on PulseX, on Dex Tools, etc. Dex Screener. You can go buy that, but pretty much PulseX and Go Pulse exchanges, Patius and stuff like you can go buy Mafia as well. But you will have to set your slippage at about 5% to buy. There is a sell tax as well, 16.6%. But if you're just getting a player, it's only costing you like 2,000 Pulse. So like $1 or something, $1.50, I don't know, something like that. Then that's easy, and you can start playing DA. Pretty cool. So we might do a whole video on that coming up soon as well, because we're going to be opening up our recruiting early to the Mafia. But if you want to join up, I guess you can join today and go through our recruitment program to get accepted. And all you have to do is go to the Yakuza, for example, and hit the Telegram there, and you can join up. Go through our recruitment there as well, and you'll probably end up meeting Max Payne and his team anyway, which is pretty cool. So get out there and join up today. That is the Pulse Mafia there on Pulse Chain. Very cool. All right, so look, the other thing is this may very well be linked into PUSD Algo and the DeFi that Jacob's doing, of course, which backlinks in back to those oracles that we talked about today, Fetch Oracle and Signum Oracle coming up, very imminent for that too. Very excited about that. So big shout out to the Oracle teams. I mean, it takes a lot to get that up and running. And of course, it's now a new revenue opportunity to become a reporter and earn money through those. So we've got even more. You don't just have to do Pulse Chain validating now. You can also do Oracle reporting, which is pretty cool. Pulse Chain's developing and growing really, really nicely. And it's very exciting to see these teams bring really big infrastructure to Pulse Chain. That's what Oracle's are, big infrastructure, and opening up a whole new wave of new developer and projects. And of course, Jacob's one of the leading developers in the world, particularly peer-to-peer technology, and bringing some of these great projects like Pulse Mafia, like PUSD Algo, like previously TRH, and of course Pulse Predict and Pulse Pop and all those other things. Really, really cool frontier stuff. So very exciting there. So we're getting close. Very close. All right, so that's coming up there as well. We're going to get into Titanex. Before we do that, let's say a few more comments in the chat there. We're 58 minutes on the hour, so doing pretty good time as well. Who did I see in the chat here? We got Crypto Utah in the house there. Dragon Fart Dust is killing it. Another token there from the Crypto Utah team. Well done on that. Big shout out there. And I need to get you guys on the show, honestly. I need to get you guys on the show. Hit me up in the the influencers chat on Telegram there, Crypto Utah. We've got to arrange a show and get you guys to talk about your projects there, since we're about to talk about Titanex anyway, so that'd be useful. Kryptonite, yeah, and Superman Kryptonite, yeah, get smashed by that. I love that little intro video and ending video I have where Superman's getting done over by Kryptonite. A pretty painful experience, as you guys can see. What else we got going? We got Check My Pulse in the house there. Watch Shaken Hexkins. Hey, good to see Check My Pulse. Like I say, man, Hex is in a very good spot on the price range at the moment, man, to pick that up. And because I got big expectations of Hex into the dollars and that's very exciting where it is at the moment. Good evening, Superman. Good evening to you. Check my pulse. Always great to see you in the house. All right, let's see who else has jumped in here. We got Hex Glenn in the house. Hey, good to see Hex Glenn. Hope you're doing well. Also, we got Brendan there with the Rockets, looking good. And also we got Wookie as well. Yes, get them on. Yeah, get Crypto Utah on. Yeah, talk about his projects, doing well there. Big shout out. All right, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, share the channel around. It really does help. And of course, if you haven't joined our Discord, the link's in the video description. Community membership is only $5 a month, a cup of coffee, and that's about to go up soon in price. So get in there today. And of course, also if you want to join the Crypto Strategy Club, only $35 a month. Really, really great. We pass intel in there all the time, particularly around TitanX and other projects like that. And so definitely join up with that as well. And of course, if you want a one-on-one session, check that out as well. $99 a month for 45-minute sessions. So get on that too. And I'm just developing a new product offering, which is going to be coming out soon. So don't miss that. That's going to be huge. And going to be promoting that pretty hard as well. Smash the likes, says Crypto Utah. Absolutely smash the likes there. All right, let's get into the final topic, which is TitanX. We're going to do a run through of this as well. Let's take a different view though. Let's pull up the whole range there. Hey, what's happened here? We've got a new view here. Anyway, we've got volume at the moment on TitanX ecosystem is at just under 300,000, pretty similar to yesterday. The TitanX users sitting at about 19,800. Definitely slowed down, right, because of the chart. Green charts, right? Talk, right? Green charts talk, red charts walk. Did I just make that up? Is that a Richard Hart phrase that I just made? I don't know. But that was pretty cool. We got TitanX at the moment. Let's check out the price chart on TitanX. TitanX, of course, is the medium exchange. It's kind of the layer one on the layer one that you need to get in. And we are pushing a price here. So back on the 1st of August, we had the price at €6.1750, and then we had a big 10x rally all the way through the 21st of October, and then we got into the hyperdeflation narrative, and the chart got wrecked. The chart got wrecked there, and we came all the way back down to 1750. We pretty much ended where we started, and we thought we might even hold up at 3,000, but no, we got pulled back down. And of course, there's been a lot of market volatility as well as competing narratives out there, like the Trump coin and other things playing out as well. But that's kind of where we're at the moment. So we also, during this time, the second wave here on the way down, we also had the buy and burns turned off as well. So that didn't come to the rescue either. So that's kind of where we are. But probably more important is the wrapped ETH at the moment. So the wrapped ETH is the ratio that we're looking at in particular, and we're still slightly higher on the ratio. We were down at 5,500, so 10 zeros, 5,500. That's TitanX to wrapped ETH. Now we're at 8,000. So we're still up, a decent amount. Was at about 60%, and we're trying to hold on to this 8,000 range here at the moment. And of course, that would be a key part there for wave 3. Now, all the buy and burns are turned off, so really, TitanX is kind of collaterally backed with a buy and burn, which is pretty powerful. How many cryptos have that in the crypto? And of course, we're waiting for wave 3. So, it's down pretty brutal, but it's a perfect time to buy. That's pretty much it, right? The perfect time to buy, and the buy and burns looking pretty powerful when that gets turned on. I'm sure it's going to be pretty amazing. Now, I'm not expecting TitanX V1 to be turned on anytime soon. Maybe we might get some little intermittent use. We'll see. We'll see what Jake. There's a couple of narratives around what Jake might do there, but we'll see. Anyway, the X28 is the omni-chain version of that. In other words, TitanX is going to have one supply only. It's going to be on Ethereum, but it's going to be able to move to other chains. That means it's omni-chain. In other words, you're not duplicating TitanX on every chain like a multi-chain approach. You're just doing an omni-chain approach and bridging it over using layer 1 technology there. And the ratio I can see has actually bounced a little bit. It's been down at like 0.84, 0.86 or something. It is now at 0.9. So the ratio is back to convergence. And we may very well see that go as a premium to TitanX, because that means people are incentivized to go put their TitanX into the X28, transform it, and burn 50% of the TitanX and so on. But that mechanism is not happening at the moment. We'll see. That should be something in the future when the omni-chain roadmap rolls out there from Jake Sharp, who's currently busy beavering away and building out the omni-chain. And of course, Eric at the moment could be pretty happy because the TitanX to DragonX ratio is at 8 again. So that's definitely been gaining. So even while TitanX has been down, DragonX has actually recovered to 8 TitanX per DragonX, which I think is pretty good. So doing pretty well there. Now we know that Shogun moves around a lot in terms of the X28 ratio, so I'm not going to really comment on that. Sometimes it's at 6,500. Sometimes it's at 5,600. X28 to Shogun. But we know that it's going to go omni-chain, and that's going to be very bullish for that at Shogun at the moment. Currently, it's got the perpetual auctions, got the buy and burns. It's also got the LP webbing with the 8% tax, so that's sort of ticking away there as well, burning Shogun off the market slowly and surely. And Hyper and Hydra, we know those are basically minted out, particularly Hydra, and the buy and burns are turned off as well. So buy and burns turned off, Titanx, DragonX turned off, Hyper and Hydra essentially turned off as well. And so, when they get turned back on, we're going to get that beautiful Wave 3 chart. But of course, it's probably going to be aligned with the omni-chain roadmap. Thinking of the developers that are in the ecosystem, not just Jake and Eric, but we've got the Dude, of course, who does fantastic products. So Helios there is going omni-chain. That's up 3% today. We know that his other projects are going over to omni-chain, which would be Element 280, Element 369. And of course, that's paired up with James, another developer, with his Baby Dragon X project. That's up as well. They're going to go omni-chain as well, but set up big LP webbing over on the base chain, because that's where the omni-chain is starting on base chain. And of course, that's going to be paired up with Uranus here, which is the first project to go over the base chain, and it's done pretty well. It's still up about 2x, so 2 extra returns, but it's been much higher, like 2.8 or something as well. So Uranus, they're doing pretty well. And the buy and burn, as far as I remember, is turned off for this as well. So that's important. Let me go double check that. I'm pretty sure it's turned off too. Let's have a look. There's lots of things coming up here. They're doing a lot of stuff with base influences, so that's very, very important. And also other stuff there. I don't know why it's not coming up here on the. It's just not populating in time. But that is also going to be pretty cool as well. So that's going to increase the reflections. It's got 10% reflections plus 2% tax. And of course, that goes into 1% to burning, buy and burning, and then, or burning actually, buying and burning, and then 0.5% into LP webbing, and the other 0.5% for Genesis as wallet. So that's ticking away there as well. So that's looking exciting for that team. They're doing some good stuff. And then we've got, obviously, come back to Inferno, because we've got Crypto Utah in the chat there. And of course, he announced a couple of days back that Inferno is going omni-chain also. And of course, looks like he's got his new tokens launched as well. Yeah, there we go. I just caught up to your comment there. Inferno is going omni-chain too. Yep. Very, very cool. Shady says, DragonX, pull up the chart. Yeah. I'll pull it up as well. We'll do that. What else? We got other comments in there. Just jumping back up here. So you got Dragon Fart. Dust isn't my project, but the team is solid, says Utah. So there we are. Not your project there, but that is coming up doing well. All right. So a lot of support between the devs and the old Titanx. Kind of cool. So that is doing pretty well, and we'll pull up that DragonX chart because someone asked for it. So we'll pull that up and check that out. So that is the chart for DragonX, and we can see we're at 5 zeros 1400. So really good entry at the moment to buy this stuff. It's kind of like dreamy price levels right now to pick up all this stuff. And that is it. So when there's maximum fear, maximum disappointment, that's really the time to pick these charts up, right? And they got big buy and burn sitting on them too, multi-million-dollar buy and burns. The DragonX ratio is 7.9, so that's really powered up there a couple of days back and holding up there pretty nice there as well. All right. What else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Vault, which this is Mad Scientist, Crazy Scientist DVD. And at the moment, the ratio is 8,500 Titanx to 1 Volt. And we notice it's burning off, last time I checked, added it up, it was about 650,000. I don't know, maybe it's doing 600,000 burn a day. And that's slowly burning off the Volt as well. And let's have a quick look at the Volt, 45.7%. Now, you guys know that with Volt, we've got 3 projects. Ouroboros, the lending protocol, is going to use Volt as collateral, which is amazing to get that up early. And I think it may have to go through the DAO, but that's definitely been offered by the founder there, Super Shady. And of course, also Volt is going to benefit from Volt Thunder staking, which will share profits from the 1% LP fees. And then also it's going to be benefit from Bitcoin Genie. And they're basically all ready, as far as I can tell. I'm pretty sure that Bitcoin Genie must have its audits now. So that's coming up too. And that's on the future list here with Bitcoin Genie here. So that's coming up. So very cool stuff there. And it's I think it's going to have a huge run, the old Vault. I think it's going to have a massive run as well. Now, first time when it launched, it got picked up by the market. But I think just its fundamentals are going to have a nice run, just slowly creep up and then start running away is what happened there. Because the supply's burning off and it's got so many awesome protocols coming as well. So pretty cool there. So nice stuff there. We're also expecting stuff from Morpheus and Brandon from there, big influence in the space and developer. That's down 27% today, so maybe a pretty good entry there for the old Morpheus. We're possibly going to get, I guess, V3 DEXs going over the base and Pulse chain, as my guess there. Waiting to hear a bit more about that from him. And then we've also got more stuff from Eric, probably around Think Farm. And we know we've got this project coming up, I think mid-March now, which is Vibernex, which got delayed, and smart decision to delay it. That is coming up too, and that's going to benefit the Tink Farms, which is back up here. Where did Tink Farm go? Up here, which is currently at 3.8 cents at the moment. And of course, we've got what's this Bonfire also benefiting Tink as well. That's up just a little bit today as well. And then finally, we got USD Ouroboros, which has done an amazing job. Let's go check out how much actual value is in there at the moment. I'm going to go to the USDX Minter. And like I say, at the moment, you can only put Titanx and DragonX in here. But, Ouroboros is coming. I think ETH is going to be useful. And, of course, RRX itself, the main token from the platform, is going to be used as collateral. So at the moment, there's only 2, but we'll probably get those other 3 coming in here. And that's going to, increase the amount of volume. And you can open up loans, of course, quite easily. Let's have a look at the system stats. 216% aggregate health. That's getting a little bit lower than what I've seen lately. The backstop pool stats at 58%. That's percentage of USDX available for liquidators. Let's go to the actual value. 1.7 million in total value. Pretty good, eh? That's holding up pretty well. And we could easily see this boom into multi-millions, if not tens of millions of dollars when Titanx gets on that wave 3 that we're expecting to come up some stage in the future. And of course, that has got total value. Issued debt is 783,000, so pretty good there too. At the moment, we've got 6.3 trillion Titanx, pretty similar to yesterday. So that's plus the 4 trillion that went through the RX Minter. That's about 10.3 trillion, which is amazing. So Ouroboros has done its job. And of course, it's only going to get bigger from here. We've got 403 billion in DragonX. That moves around a little bit there, and it's down slightly from yesterday. But otherwise, doing pretty well. So we've got 37 loans using Titanx and 32 loans using DragonX there at the moment. Pretty cool. And if you do take a loan out over here at the Minter and you got USDX, you can then stake it. And in the APR at the moment for staking, it's 427%, which is pretty amazing, right? Pretty amazing there. So big shout out to Super Shady, doing a great job with that. That is fantastic. So even though the price is down in Titanx, it's actually a perfect time to pick it up. And also the fact that the buy and bin's all turned off, and it means you've got that collateral backing, right? That's pretty massive. Let's have a quick look at the Titanx one just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So we've got the liquid supply at the moment, 64.8 trillion Titanx. That's $11.6 million. But the V1 buy and burn, so remember that $11.6 million is at almost 10 million, let's say. So, it's almost like 85, 90% collateral there as well. So pretty amazing. And that buy and burn can be turned on. I'm not sure how he's going to turn that on or when he's going to turn it on because there's different competing ideas of what you could do there. Some people argue that he may not turn it on at all and just use it as a DAO collateral backing as opposed to the actual nature of it, which is a buy and burn. Other people think that he might use it incrementally to help the chart get good pace and turn it on for little brief periods of time. So we'll see. And then maybe others think maybe once Ethereum actually has its big rally, because at the moment you can't imagine them using it much now with Ethereum down at $2,200. You definitely want Ethereum probably to be at least up to the all-time highs, maybe 5,000 before you start using it, is my guess. But we'll see. We'll see what he does there. But that doesn't mean that the other ones don't turn on, like the DragonX one, like the Hydra and Hyper ones. They could all turn on, right? And so those are still out there as well. So we'll see what happens in that space. And of course, Tink Farms are also very important, as well as Ouroboros, right? Those two big lending protocols, very important in terms of lifting value into it, because Tink Farms offer a lot of incentives for capital to flow into the Titanx ecosystem. So we can't dismiss the importance of Tink Farms and Ouroboros as well, which potentially adds some buying power and supply sinks. So this is very important too, which is pretty neat. We might just connect to this as well and see what their yields are. So at the moment, Tink Time, still pretty good yields, right? 70%, 66% makes the Tink Titanx, Vault, DragonX. So still some pretty good yields across the board here as well. And of course, if Tink rallies and Titanx rallies into the third wave, then this all just goes up very quickly, right? And the buy and burn as well. So not bad. All right, that is pretty much a wrap up of our show today. How did we do? An hour and 15 minutes, which is my max time, right? That's my max time. Let's read out some final comments before we finish up there. Let's see here. We've got Shady there pumping the old meme coin. Dragon fart dust. That's the meme coin today. And yeah, he's got a contract there, but always definitely check the contract with the official website and official stuff there. But thanks, Shady, for that. Appreciate that. What else? We've got Wookie in the house there. So yeah, join Strategy Club today with Wookie's Kryptonite link. Definitely join up today. Only $35 a month, and we pass intel in there all the time. So definitely join up and catch you in the Discord. All right, hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Special thanks to people like Crypto Utah in there from the teams. Good to see some of the team people in the chat, as well as I think we also had. Who do we have back up here? Let me just get Abra was in here as well. Good to see Abra in house. Appreciate that too, being unbanned from the Telegram. Yeah, lesson learned, as we say. All right, take care, everybody. Catch you in Discord, and bye for now.